everybody hear me all right? I've been told numerous times that I have a face that's perfect for radio and a voice that's perfect for silence, but we'll definitely try to have a great meeting as it is. Welcome everybody to Legend Football 2024. It's great to have everyone here. We have some people watching us on the live stream as well. We want to welcome them. My name is Monty Phelan, and I'm the football coach here along with a number of others, and we're super excited to get things rolling for 2024. We're going to try to provide a lot of information in regards to the end of the school year, the summer, and certainly the fall of 2024 school year. So we'll get going. These are our program goals. Not going to read everything to you, but we think that we're really a uniting force here at Legend High School. We're about 150 families, and we represent all facets of our student body. Our games are major happenings here in Parker. We think we got the greatest show on turf here in Parker, and a number of our faculty members and parents and community members are very involved with Legend, and we understand that we represent the community, and we want to do so in a way that builds community pride and association, and that's one of our major goals. We certainly have been fortunate in the last number of years to be competing at a really high level in 5A football, and that is a competitive world, to say the least. And so there's a number of sacrifices that people all throughout our program, including our families, make so that we can continue to aspire to try to play at the highest level of football that's played here in Colorado. And high school football is super important to all of us. High school sports are really important to all of us. But what 37 years of experience has taught me is that all the lessons that people learn from extracurricular activities, whatever they are, of committing to a cause that's bigger than your own, of trying to be a leader amongst your peers, to being an accountable and responsible person, those are characteristics that are going to make them these young men super successful throughout all of their lives. Certainly probably in the high school environment, but more importantly, as you know, we're talking, these sons of yours, and not too long from right now, are going to be high school graduates, going to college, going to post-secondary opportunities. They're going to become leaders in our communities. They're going to be husbands, fathers, all professions, and hopefully something that they learn from football and athletics in general helps them become the most successful version of themselves. This is an overview of our program. We, like almost all 5A schools in Colorado, certainly in the metro area, we have 3 levels really to our program. We have freshmen that is completely separate. They practice separately. They play a schedule that exactly mirrors, in all practical purposes, the varsity schedule. But they practice in a separate environment. Our 10th graders through 12th graders, they all practice together. That's our JV and our varsity team. And the JVs play also, like the freshmen, a schedule that basically mirrors the varsity schedule. And so we're talking about somewhere around 150 kids. We have a 10-game regular season, and now we're pretty much kind of counting on playing in the postseason. We've been in the postseason for 6 consecutive years, and so we kind of count on at least 11 and hopefully even more games. I'm the head coach of the varsity, Coach Aldridge. That's just contact information. We'll post all this later. That you may want this contact information come this summer, this fall, whenever it is, and you can contact our coaches accordingly. So I've been here for 8 years. We're really proud of what we've done with the football program. It takes so many people to put together a successful program, but we've won a lot of games here of late. We came to a program that had one winning season in its history, and in that season they won 6 games. Now we're averaging over 7 wins a year. So we like to think that we made what was perceived to be impossible average. And that takes a whole bunch of people working toward a common goal. So we've been to a couple of Final Fours and Elite 8. We've won 2 league championships and what's considered one of the most difficult leagues in the state. And we've gone to the Sweet 16 once as well. We've won playoff games in each of the last 5 years. And only ourselves and Cherry Creek can say that at the 5A level. And so I think that puts us on kind of unique footing. You know, the goal is to win the last game, and we have not done that. And that's what we hopefully aspire to this year as well.
It'll come back to it.
You bet. So we think this is kind of like the golden age of Legend football, and we want to just keep it going for as far as we can, and playing in semifinals and Elite 8s are really it's really neat. But ultimately, we want to play at Canvas Stadium in Fort Collins for the state championship. And to do that, man, a lot of details got to be followed for us to get there. The support that we get from our booster club is essential to any of the success that we've had here. We love to promote all of us becoming as involved as we can be with our booster club, because that is like the direct support line to our program. And we can't thank all of you enough for everything that you've done for us through the booster club. And Daryl Shush is our president, and he'll be here speaking with you, and that's Daryl's contact information. I think we have it on a number of slides or information that we have here. So people will want some information about schedules. We're going to provide you with all of that information. Like I said, we play a 10-game regular season. We have games over fall break. Everybody does. Not every school district's fall break is the same. And so the schedule just keeps going all through any scheduled fall break by any school district. And ultimately, questions about schedules, Stephanie Banks, our secretary in the athletic department, is fantastic. She can certainly help you out. But continentalleague.org is kind of the place to go. And schedules are being uploaded right now in the springtime, but certainly they'll be there in the fall. And sometimes there are changes to our schedule. Like each of the last probably 3 years, teams during the season that are in our league drop their JV or their freshman program because of dwindling numbers. I don't think we've played Douglas County in a JV game in 3 or 4 years. So while we have that scheduled right now, we pretty much know that there will be some changes to our lower level schedules, our JV and our freshman teams. And when those become known, we'll get that information out, and it will always be reflective in continentalleague.org. And Max Preps is another website that a lot of people go to for football information, and that's a great one for our varsity. But I just want to make sure everybody understands we don't put junior varsity and sophomore statistics and information in Max Preps, because it messes up their program if we end up with like 3 number 4s on the team or 4 number 8s. And so Max Preps in terms of statistics and schedule information is varsity only. So this is our varsity schedule. And what's unique about it is that we do play a 0-week game now for the first time ever that I've been at Legend. And it's becoming harder and harder as the success of our program increases to schedule non-conference games. And quite frankly, just not as many people want to play us. And our neighbors to the south are one of them. We've always played them now for the last 8 years, and they don't want to play us anymore. And we think that's the ultimate example of no moss. So that's our schedule, and I think you can see that we're playing a pretty challenging schedule next year. We put this together a year ago in March of 2023. That's when we had to put the cycle together again. And unbeknownst to me, it happened over spring break while I was at a hot springs in Wyoming. And let's just say the technology in Wyoming is not what it is, bless them, here in Colorado. And it was a stressful week. I was on the phone more than a secretary, I think, trying to put it together. So playing Fruita High, Grandview, and Columbine to open the year, I don't think anybody's playing a schedule as tough as that. And but because we're playing a 0 week, we do have an open week in the season where our varsity's not playing, and that's one of the weeks where we will have to update the freshman and the JV game. We are looking for opponents, and we will find them. And when we find them, that's where we'll be sharing the information is through our Team Snap and on continentalleague.org. So then we play our league schedule, and as we've said, this is considered to be one or two of the toughest 5A leagues in the state, and it's a fantastic schedule because we're going to play in front of a number of really big crowds, and our kids love that, and our parents. It's just a great atmosphere to be in. It's the type of atmosphere we want to put our program into. Now, the lower level schedules will follow all of those. That schedule right there, they almost always play on Saturday mornings, but I will say there are some exceptions to that. That we play some freshman games on Thursdays and Fridays based upon what our opponents' intentions are, what they want to do, and they will play the exact same league schedule for sure in the lower levels. All right, now schedule for the summer. We work on a Monday through Thursday basis. I want everybody to know that with only a couple of exceptions, do we ever have anything scheduled on the weekend in the summer? On the weekend, all of us should be doing what we like to do. And for me, that's running down south to go see a couple of my grandkids. And so I want all of us to take advantage of all the opportunities that Colorado has for us to travel and have fun. But we want to work out 4 days a week. Those are our time schedules. We'll start on a Tuesday right after Memorial Day. And for the most part, we'll go Monday through Thursday for the rest of the summer, except the week of the 4th of July. We'll have workouts on the 1st and the 2nd, and that'll be it for that week. All of us need to go on vacation. When we go on vacation, the whole family should go. Nobody should ever stick around here to go to like a football workout or something like that. They'll have memorable experiences on vacation, and that's what they need to do. We do have a couple of kind of special events that could land us on a Friday or a Saturday, and one of those is the Broncos 7-on-7 and lineman competition. We like to get into that because if we advance, and we have the last number of years, then we typically go and compete at Dove Valley to do that. And that's a lot of fun for our kids to go and get on the grounds of Dove Valley and compete against other high schools. I will note, though, that this year, because of all the construction at Dove Valley, that the finals may not be held at that site this particular year. There's I guess a pretty big facelift going on there. Our qualifying round for that is July 11th at All City Stadium. And 7-on-7 is like a flag football, if you will, without linemen. linemen are never involved in any 7-on-7 competition, just that term. But the Broncos also have a linemen's competition as well, and we'll definitely get our linemen involved in that. They've advanced to Dove Valley also the last number of years. And then specifically for our linemen, there's kind of well, it's called Hog Olympics. That's what it is, and it's a kind of a linemen's Olympics. And we'll take 12 kids to that at Columbine High on July 12th. I believe that's a Friday as well. When we come back from the 4th of July vacation, that's when we will use our 10 days allotted by CHSAA for a padded camp. We use 8 of those days, and we'll be doing it from the 15th through the 18th, and then the 22nd to the 25th at the exact same times that we normally practice. And then on the 25th, we will scrimmage Eagle Crest. Those of us that were here last year, exactly what we did with Eagle Crest last year here, we'll do with them at Eagle Crest on the 25th. And then we shut things down through that last weekend of July and into August. And as teachers start reporting, really the first week in August. On August 5th is when we move to afternoon practices. The first couple of days, your kids will not have school. The teachers will be back at school, and we'll practice at 3 o'clock, and then it just becomes practice time is right after school. I think, the 7th or the 8th is the first day students come to a full day of school. Then practices are just after school. So we do have some 7-on-7 competitions. These are the ones that we have scheduled right now. Our freshmen will be involved in a few of them. And we'll make sure that all of that information is out pertaining to that. And I guess that on August 5th is when we move to afternoon practices, and then it's that way, hopefully, through the first week in December. So the success, the rise of our program has been correspondingly associated with the rise of our booster club. And as you walk out here today, if you parked right out here, as you walk out, just look to your east and you will see one of the padded, or the turf fields, that's right next to our weight room. All of our freshmen and sophomores think that that's been there forever, but that's been there for 2 years, and that was built through the booster club. And then if anybody's driving out by the tennis courts, if you look beyond our blue turf field, right below that is another turf field that football boosters did a little more, about 1.5 years ago. And those are classic examples that all of us can see of how the Booster Club supports our program. And in the long run, they're supporting our program for sure, but there's a lot of kids that use these fields that we are turfing, that use our weight room, and all of the new equipment there has been purchased by the Booster Club. And we have a state-of-the-art video system that college coaches that come here recruiting ask us about our technology that we use. Now, you are looking at, some of you, the person with the least technical skills in the world, okay? So it's a lot of other people that are involved in it, but our technology that we use is top-notch. Our players come off the field and watch the previous series on video in between going out on the field. And we can watch film at halftime, if you like examples of that. And I know you kind of see that in the football games that you watch. And for a guy that started out with a chalkboard, right, and chalk, it's been a dramatic increase or change. So our football equipment, like all of our helmets, everything that we do is funded by our Booster Club. We are an entity of ourselves, and we just couldn't be more thankful for everybody over the last numbers of years' efforts in regards to this. And we're strongly encouraging all of us to get as involved as we can in terms of the Booster Club, because 100% of the funds go right into our program. And as you drive out, you'll see the new 5-man sled that's 1 year old, and our 2-man sleds and our tackling sleds. All of those things that you see as you drive out and look across our practice field, all of that is purchased by and more is purchased by our Booster Club. And we wouldn't be here in the level that we're at without their help. We're going to show you exactly where the money that we raise goes in just a few minutes here. Oh, I wanted to say one of the things that our money does is this live streaming by Jay Smith, who's just been outstanding for us for the last number of years. This is a part of the technology that our Booster Club has been a part of. And we broadcast all of our games on a YouTube channel so that you don't have to be in person to follow it. And because if you're anything like me, I kind of feel like I'm a longtime Coloradan now here, 29 years, but I'm not from Colorado, and most of my family does not live here. But they get to watch Legend football any weekend that they want to, because what we put it over YouTube. And when you were walking in, you were seeing what the production and the layout of our broadcasts are. They're out of this world, you know. It's unbelievable what we do. And again, that has nothing to do with me. That's really Jay Smith and a number of other people, and support through our Booster Club.
Good, Coach.
We good?
Yep, I think we're good.
Awesome. So we're gonna talk about funds and how we finance our program here for the next couple of minutes. But everything that that we pay into the program, from district fees to players' fees, Booster Club fundraising, it all goes into our operating budget. And we raise funds through those revenues, and then we do one fundraiser a year. And we do it in August, and it's done online, to where we only need from each family emails, contact information, cell phone numbers now we can do, of people that we ask to donate to the program. Lots of those people that are maybe watching the games on YouTube or can follow us. And we ask every family to just participate with us. And those are the funds that we have raised in the last 4 years. That 100% goes directly to our Booster Club and helps us fund our program. So all of our players have to pay these fees, and we ask them to participate in Snap Raise with us, and that's how we fund our program. And we appreciate everybody that does. Fantastic. It's been a great experience to see everything increase by so much, and we're so appreciative. Is that it for me, Dee?
Couple more, Coach.
Yeah. So there are many ways to support our Booster Club. Here, we're going to have a volunteer list that goes up here in just a minute with Daryl. But it can be as extensive or limited as you want it to be. And it's things like running the chain crew, or the scoreboard at lower level games, or team meals, or tailgates, and they're going to give us a lot more. And but as we said, Jay Smith is finally leaving us, and I had like 37 years of experience at the high school level, and I've had 2 people in my career that stayed supporting our program after their children left our program, and one of them is Jay, and he's really the genesis behind everything that goes into our YouTube broadcast. And so we're looking for a person who can do that, and I believe that is so important because it expands our connection with our Titan family. And as we were watching, as we came in here watching production of it, you can follow on the side all the people who send in little messages saying like they're checking in or just supportive words towards their loved one. And they're from literally all over the United States. And it allows grandma and grandpa in South Carolina to watch their grandson's football games, which is kind of cool. And it allows aunts and uncles in Oregon to follow Titan football. So it puts even more people into that huge village of Titan football, of family members, and we would love to keep it going. After, I think, 5 years of doing this, Jay is bidding us farewell, and we're so indebted to him, but he's more than willing to help break in the people anybody we have that are interested, that may be interested in doing it at freshman games, might be interested in doing it at JV or at varsity. We're looking for all volunteers across all of these roles that we have, and we just appreciate everybody for considering taking on a role and helping us. Thank you. All of this is going to be on replay that you can look up and watch, and we'll put this on our football website as well, so you have all of this information that we'll share with you tonight. And I think next is going to be Daryl.
Yep.
Daryl Shush from our Booster Club. I'm certainly indebted to Daryl. This is his second year of being our president, and nothing but gratitude and thanks.
Thank you. So, Booster Club, as you've heard him mention many times, is a very, very important part of what the program is. The coaches want to put out a quality product. We want to make it look and feel as good as possible. We have great competition. We have great product out there, but we want the kids to feel like a college experience. It costs a lot of money. Everything that goes into it, we have to raise, and it takes volunteers. So it's money and time is what we ask for from the parents. Not everybody has all the money, not everybody has all the time. We just look for a combination or one or the other to help. Oftentimes what ends up happening, last year we had a couple freshman families that ended up doing most of the volunteering and carrying everything through. We need everybody to participate, so it's really important that you can do whatever you can. If it's one game, raise your hand, come out and help, but make sure you show up. It's really important that you're doing your part for your kids, and that's why I do this. I want this to be a better spot than when I took over it freshman year for my son, so it's really critical. So we take volunteers for team snacks, team meals, we do the media, we provide everything. So anybody who wants to help with the filming and the YouTube and all that, you don't have to be a software engineer. We'll give you training, we have cameras, we have drones for freshman games, for JV games. We have all that available for you. We just need you to be willing to step up and give your time. We do the live streaming of the games. We're going to try to get students involved with that too for doing the color commentary. We solicit sponsorship. Now the board, we have somebody specific that does that. We all go out and do it. We introduced something this year and gave out the flyers for it where you can actually earn credits to your fees. And so you don't have to pay all the fees. So if you bring in $1,500, a sponsor worth $1,500, that will give you a $500 credit to your fees. If you bring in $5,000, $3,000, sorry, then it's $1,000 off of yours. So we can't cover the district fees. You still have to pay the $200. So if you're bringing that money in and helping us that way, then you don't have to pay those other fees. We have other opportunities that we'll go over in a minute. We're coordinating volunteers for concession stands, chains, cleanup, team meals. We feed all the varsity kids. We give them game meals before, at halftime. We have drinks after they lift. The JV team, they're getting snacks, and the freshmen. That all has to be paid. The school district doesn't give us money for that. We have to do that for ourselves, for our own kids. We have to pick up after the games. That's just something that we have to self-mitigate with that. Team barbecue, tailgates. We work with the Coliseum Crazies. It's a group that gets the students involved. We're trying to be more integrated with everybody. Last year we worked with the cheer and the Palms, so they were involved with the tailgates, getting everybody all excited about the game, football, and what we do, because it's a really cool thing and it's a great experience. So how can I help? We need you to raise your hand and we need you to participate. JV and freshman parents, it's really critical that we get your help. Freshman parents, we need you to work the concession stands for varsity games. We lost a bunch of revenue and income last year that we had to make up, and we still haven't, because we didn't have enough volunteers to do that. So about $10,000 went to other sports programs that stepped in for us because we didn't have people to do that. We asked the freshmen to do it because they're typically not playing in the varsity games. We need you to sign up and we need you to show up, and that's really what we need. We're gonna ask the freshmen to give us a check for $300. If you show up and volunteer, we give you that check back. We don't want you to have to pay. If you can't do it and you'd rather just give it $300 because it's easier for you, we'll take that. But we can't lose that revenue. We just need people to volunteer and stick with it. Identify any potential new program sponsors. If you know anybody that owns a business, if you have a great relationship with somebody, just ask them. We have the information. We have flyers. We'll help you. You can get us the contact. We'll go out and do the talking about it as well. Anything and everything helps, even product. We have one of our booster members is with Body Armor, so they donate a ton of product that we have on the sideline for the boys. We have other relationships where they're donating food, milk, and stuff like that. It all works. It all goes to the end that helps us and your kids. We have restaurant nights that we shoot out, so we have one coming up in Kilwins. You go there, you say you're here because of Legend Football, they give us money back. So if you go out and eat once a week, we have these throughout the summer, we'll have different ones. Pay attention to what they are, and it just gives money back to us. I take the kids out and we eat at those ones. That's the only time we eat out during the week typically, and it funds the Booster Club, gives us extra money to do the things that we need to do to help the program stay strong. Watch for signups for the concessions, fundraising, any of that stuff. We need your help, and that's really what it boils down to. So we did hand out some other flyers. We have the sponsorship flyer, so if you want to hand any of these out, all of this stuff will be emailed out as well. So on the back of the schedule, it has a QR code. You scan that in, give us your information. We want to make sure that we have up-to-date information for all of you and who your child is. That way we can get it to you. If you know a parent or a family that's not here, please forward this on to them and let us know so we can make sure that everybody gets communication. That's always a big area of opportunity for us just because there's so many kids coming and going. We want to make sure that we're hitting all the families. We're on all the social media. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We have our own webpage. Look for communications from that. If you have any suggestions, we're open to it. We will have our barbecue is August 5th. So that's the first afternoon practice with the boys. We'll set up out here. We'll have a big barbecue. We'll cook all the food. We pay for it. There'll be opportunities to buy swag and different things. And it's a great time to come out and get together and see everybody. All levels will be invited, so everybody will be there. We have a bunch of giveaways. Coaches will talk, kind of go over the summer, what's ahead. So it's the first real big all-family gathering that we can do. So we really look forward to that every year. There is the team store out, so if you see this is the first year we've been able to get this done, so you can order stuff ahead of time for t-shirts, hats, gear. We do have some hats, some yard signs, and some blankets now. If you wanted to buy them, we can take cash or credit card. We don't make a ton of money on this stuff. We're just trying to make sure that everybody's outfitted. It's cool to see everybody wearing all the Legend gear. With that, we also have a unique opportunity for fundraising that will go to cover your fees. So Mike Allen with Best Crowd Management is going to talk to us about what we can do to earn money for your fees and for the booster program.
Thank you, guys. My name is Mike Allen. I'm the senior account manager for a company called Best Crowd Management here in Colorado. Before I go into my little chat, I'm going to tell you that I stand before you very humbled. I spent 4 years as the Booster Club president at Skyline High School up in Longmont from 2018 to 2022. walked into the first meeting, the last meeting of the year, before my son went to high school, and I said, what does it take to be involved? And they said, well, we need a president. There was no board. I had to go recruit my own parents to be a secretary and a treasurer and all of that kind of stuff. And when they turned over the books to me the first week of August with a football game 4 weeks away, the bank account had $74 in it. We were in trouble. So when I finished the year with a little over $11,000 in the bank, I felt like we'd done a heck of a job. And then I just looked up here and saw $33,000 from the football team. You guys are amazing, and I'm jealous, and you're lucky. But here's what I know. From having spent that time, this school is 3 times the size of Skyline High School. But here's what I know about that $33,000. It comes one nacho chip, one popcorn, one t-shirt, one baseball hat, one this and that at a time. And it takes a really long time and a really lot of work to get that $33,000 together, am I right? I'm here to try to help you take some bigger swings at your budget. What my company does is we provide observe and report security at a number of high-profile sporting events all across northern Colorado at this time. I came to run across Daryl through a friend of many of you by the name of Corey Gildner. He was a friend of this program for years, probably part of the Booster Club, and an advocate of this school to this very day. I thought of Legend High School because originally we were bidding on the FedEx Cup, which is going to be at Castle Pines in August. Unfortunately, we didn't win that contract. The company that took it is from out of state, and they decided they were going to pay minimum wage, and we weren't going to work for that, so we lost that contract. But Daryl still stayed in touch and reached out, and I am now looking for help mostly in Boulder, but also up in Cheyenne at the Cheyenne Frontier Days, and it's kind of a unique opportunity, and it works like this. Next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 10th, 11th, and 12th, I am the sole security provider for the final Pac-12 track championships in Boulder. My scheduled call is upwards of 50 people a day. Now, that's not something we normally do this time of year, so we're always looking for ways to bolster that. Best all across the U.S., whether it's at a Cincinnati Bengals game, the Miami Dolphins, AT&T Stadium, everything in Minnesota, we make use of nonprofit organizations as a way to help raise funds for you and find staff for us. It works like this. If you send 10 people up to work for me in Boulder next Friday from 8:15, and let's call it for simple math, until 5:15 in the evening, a 10-hour day, we pay $20 an hour. Each one of those people will net your school $200, which is a $2,000 swing gross in one day. Because you're a nonprofit, there are no taxes. Within 2 weeks, $2,000 will be deposited in the Legend Football Booster Club account. If you do it again on Saturday, that's $2,000 more. We're using 10 hours as a ballpark. It's not always a 10-hour day. Same thing on Sunday the 12th. So if we did 10 people a day, 3 days, the 10th, 11th, and 12th, there'll be $6,000 or roughly $6,000 in the Legend Booster Club fund within 2 weeks. Not too bad, right? All you got to do is stand and make sure everybody has the right credential in their hand, or that their bag is clear, or that it's not the right size, or they're not smoking on campus, or that an athlete is going through the right entrance. It is not hard work. So that's those 3 days. In Cheyenne, I have half of the perimeter security contract for Cheyenne Frontier Days. That's 10 days, average 10-hour shift, $18 an hour. From the, 17th of July through the 28th of July, 10 people a day, $1,800 a day, times 10 days is $18,000. All you gotta do is get to Cheyenne and back, carpool, figure out however you do it. I don't care. I would love to have you. That's 65 plus people a day I need. You give me 10, that's 10 I don't need to find in the labor market. And I would love you to have the money. CU football season rolls around. We've got 6 home games. 5 of them are on Saturdays. The North Dakota State game just got moved to a Thursday on the 29th of August instead of the 31st of August. We started out last year, they wanted 25 people a game. And then prime effect hit, and they realized that wasn't enough. After game 2, they asked me for 60 people. We met most of that, and would have taken 80. That's about a 7 or 8 hour day. Again, at $20 an hour. You give me 15 or 20 people up there just making sure people aren't hopping fences, bag control, run the student gate. You do the math, 20 people times $20 an hour for 8 hours a day, that's several $1,000s a day. Daryl has done the hard part for you. All of the paperwork is already completed with BEST. He says he's talked to a few people who've agreed to volunteer to help out the 10th, 11th, and 12th. We would love to have you. There are a couple of things that have to happen in order for you to volunteer, and those are some legal things that the darn U.S. government requires us to do. And that's we have to do I-9 verification on each person. I have to know specifically who is working each day for that purpose. The other thing that has to happen, because CU is a government institution, we have to run a background check on everybody. It's very simple, it's very low key, takes a couple of days. But in order for you to work in the 10 days from now, you need to get that process started on those of you who have agreed to volunteer or would like to jump in and add to the volunteer. I have saved for Legend 10 spots per day those 3 days. I'm holding my staff off to the side and they will fill in whatever you folks choose not to take or are not able to take because it's short notice, and we will go from there. But if you've agreed to volunteer, you would like to volunteer, you need to get with Daryl. He needs to send you a link to our website that takes care of getting all of this information done. It's very simple. Click the link, fill in your information, hit submit, and you're done. If anyone has questions, I would be happy to answer, or I can stay across to the side. We would love to have you. I wish we were closer than Cheyenne and Boulder. Hopefully we will be soon. We will aggressively pursue anything that comes available, whether it be Empower Field or Ball Arena or any of those things. Not available to us right now, but that we're seriously efforting more work in the Denver market. As those things come, we would love to have you as our cornerstone nonprofit organization assisting us here in the Colorado market.
Questions? Anybody have any questions? Gotta be 18. So students can do it, but they have to be 18. Anything that you earn will directly come off of your fees as well. Legend Football BC at Gmail, send us an email, get signed up, and we'll start cutting this budget. The $33,000 is what we raise in Team Snap. It takes, what is it, around $133,000 a year to run this program.
Good, add insult to injury, that's awesome.
133,000. So it requires a lot of funds. It requires a lot of people. It requires a lot of effort. We just want you to jump in and help with us. Does anybody have any questions? Stop over and see us, shoot us emails, communicate with us. We'll send out as much communication as we can. If we're missing somebody or something, please let us know. We don't want to leave anybody out. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Coach Petro. Real quick, before I quickly talk to you about the piece of paper that's in front of you, I just want to introduce our staff that's here with you tonight. So we've got Josh Sloan, he's our head freshman coach. Got Rick Garcia, he's our defensive line coach. Devin Aldridge, he's our defensive line coach and our JV head coach. We have David Johnston next to him, he coaches our tight ends. Tom Hora, next to him, he was our freshman coach last year, he'll be moving up with us to varsity and be one of our assistant wide receiver coaches. Doug Johnston, who's our running backs coach. Mike Smith, who's new to us this year, he'll be one of our wide receivers coaches. Matt Wilson, who's next to him, he'll be our DB coaches. So if you can, just give them a quick round of applause for coming here tonight. So real quick, I just want to hit on the piece of paper that's in front of you, talk about a few things that have already been kind of hit on, and make it as quick as possible. So front side of this is our just important dates. Coach Thielen hit them real fast. But I want to make sure you have them, have access to them, you can kind of see them, just so they're there. So we have this parent meeting right now. It's big to know when summer workouts begin. Broncos is a big deal. I hate to see kids kind of miss it. I know sometimes trips happen and things like that, but it's a fun, free thing for our team. And honestly, it's been a great experience every year that we've done it. So that's on here. Hog Olympics is a big deal. Our scrimmage is a big deal. And then the start of afternoon practice is in our first game. So that's just kind of it, summed up real quick. You have it, you can throw it on the fridge, do whatever you want with it, so you have it there. Backside of the sheet is kind of the nitty gritty. So the most important thing on this sheet is that QR code on the back. If you scan that, it's what you were doing up here. It will give us your information once you fill out the form. We have to be able to communicate with you. That is the most important thing. Right? I've got to be able to talk to you, coaches got to be able to talk to you, booster club's got to be able to talk to you. We need to be able to reach out. There is nothing more frustrating than sending something out about a lightning delay or about practice being moved or about a film or whatever, and a player going, yeah, I'm not on time. Right? We want to have the ability to communicate to you. Right? We're going to be doing it a few different ways throughout the course of this year, and you'll get all that information, whether it be Remind, Team Snap, Huddle. We are going to over-communicate. That is our goal. Right? Make sure you know, make sure the players know, all the way down to the freshmen know what is going on. Right? Social media, all those kinds of different things. So scanning that QR code is going to be really, really important. On here we have the breakdown of payments. A freshman payment is different than a JV varsity payment. Main reason why is they don't get included in all of these summer items. Right? There we kind of got a little list of things that are included. I think we're a very fair price program. We include a lot of things. There's a lot of things that go into what is going on here. Summer workouts, right? Really important. You will see throughout the course of summer, right, the amount of time, effort, energy that our coaching staff puts into summer practice, workouts. Right? I've been in other programs. I've been at other big time programs where during the summer there's 1, 2, 3, 4 coaches there. Right? I can almost assure you, every single workout throughout the course of the entire summer, there will be 7 or more coaches there participating with your player or athlete. Right? And that's really important. Right? So the cost that goes into that is big, and we want our coaches to be there, and we want them to be around the players. It sets us apart from anybody else. Right? Things like the Hawk Olympics, right? Bronco 7-on-7, right? Meals throughout the season, equipment, all of that is covered. Right? There's a breakdown of what that looks like. There's a breakdown of our costs and our expenses. Right? We will call ourselves a profit-neutral program. We are trying to bring in as much money as we need to pay out. Right? Cut it even. And what we do a lot of that with is the fundraising, but it also comes from the fees that we collect. And we're banking on every single person paying their fees. Before COVID, this was really, really easy, and we were really, really good at it. Then COVID hit, there were all a whole bunch of rules and how payments went down and what was allowed and not allowed, and it's not been as easy. Right? We're going to start, and we have the ability to crack down on this again. Right? There's dates on there. If you don't make the payments by the dates, we're going to start limiting participation. Right? We've had some fees that went unpaid from last season. Those are going to be tagged as school accounts. As you lead up to graduation, they need to be paid. Right? So just know it's going to be a huge emphasis and a huge kind of point topic, and it's never fun. But we're doing what we can to run this at a profit-neutral cycle. And we're trying to get this to balance to zero. And it's a huge topic and a huge focus for us. So there's a rundown on here. The biggest thing is equipment. Right now, the one thing that really has not bounced back from COVID is jerseys. Right? We have custom football jerseys. We have, for our varsity, we have a Nike custom jersey, 2 Nike custom jerseys, blue and white, and a custom Jordan orange jersey. Right? The pants, the white and blue are stock, so we can get those at any time, but the Jordan orange pant is a custom Jordan pant. Kids love them. Kids think it's really cool. We'd love to enhance them. We'd love to get more of them. It's a huge selling point. But the truth of the matter is if something goes missing, rips, tears, gets lost, gets stolen, it is an 11-month turnaround time to get new jerseys in. 11 months. Right? You can have a child in a faster amount of time than it takes to get football uniforms in. Right? It blows my mind. It is the most frustrating part of my job, to be honest with you. So we treat those, I treat those very sacredly. Right? So just know that. Know that when you get a piece of equipment out, we're expecting it back. From there, everything else you need equipment-wise will be provided to you throughout the course of the season. Right? You will get a helmet if you don't have a helmet already. I'll talk about that here in a second. You will get shoulder pads. You will get your jersey. You will get your practice jerseys. We even have 5-piece girdles. Right? You will have that all provided to you. All you really need to go out and get is cleats that fit your feet and gloves if you want to wear gloves. Right? Everything else is provided to you by the program. It costs a lot. It costs a lot to keep up with it. Right? It costs a lot to refurbish it. Every year the helmet has to go through a refurbishing process. If it meets its lifespan, it means it's out too long, we have to get rid of it. So it's a constant process. With helmets, freshmen, incoming freshmen, I highly, highly recommend you go get your own helmet. Right? Go get a helmet that you want, you can keep at home, and we'll refurbish it for you, we can paint it for you, but get one that fits your head and it's for you. If you don't, that's fine. We have helmets here, we have SpeedFlexes here, but I can't assure you a SpeedFlex. I can't assure you an F7 shut, the cool helmets that you really want. You kind of got what we got left as we go through the process of handing them out, right? When you're all said and done with high school, if you don't want that helmet anymore, we'll take it back from you. We will buy it back from you. Helmets are like gold, right? So I highly recommend go buy it, go get the one you want. We'll paint it. If we change colors or get caps or whatever it looks like, we'll take care of that on our end. Right? It's a process, but go get your helmet. Right? Last thing before I kick this over to Coach Johnson, who's going to talk a little bit about recruiting. I think I hit everything that's on here. He's all that. I just kind of want to talk a little bit more, and we hit on it, just about volunteers and people being involved. Right? Jay Smith, we talked about, he doesn't get enough credit. His son graduated 2 years ago, right? And he stuck around with us. But we need people to kind of take this over. We need people to film our games, drones, technology. It is how we run. It's what makes us successful. The ability to make in-game adjustments is a very, very big deal, and we need people to help us out with that. Right? Typically, I get frustrated and I yell at those people because it's not going perfectly planned. Right? But it is a big-time job that we need help with. We already have 2 student broadcasters who are ready to roll and want to be a part of this for next year. It is something really, really cool that our school provides and offers, and it's going to take the help of our community. Right? If you haven't had the chance to watch a game on YouTube, it is truly a special experience. It's my kids sit in front of the TV and watch me coach. They watch me be a part of the Valley game. They watch me be a part of really big, important things in my life that they couldn't be at because it's either too far away or it's 11 o'clock at night or whatever it may be. And it sets us apart. Right? So that's kind of the end of my spiel. I just ask that you participate. If you have questions, reach out to me. That's kind of the nuts and bolts of everything in front of me. Lastly, I'm going to kick this off to Coach Johnson, who's going to talk to you a little bit about recruiting and the more sexier stuff.
All right, let's round of applause for Coach Lucio. All right, here's the good news. This entire presentation started building it a couple months ago. It's like 75 slides. I'm only doing 10, so I promise I'll be as quick as I can. But this is what Coach Thielen and Coach Beecher and I, when we talked, I said, okay, what do we have to let parents know, not only about what we do as coaches, but what we can do as parents and players as a part of this recruiting process. Let's see. But here's our goal, right? When we're trying to help people play at the next level. I was a former college recruiting coordinator. It's my second year at Legend. I'm really excited to help do a little bit more of this stuff. But our goal is to find the best fit, not only football-wise, but education-wise, for kids that want to play college football, right? And how can we find the best fit? Okay? And this is a tough thing to hear sometimes, but college coaches are going to be the ones that determine your son's level. We're going to do as much as we can to get your film in front of coaches, and I'll talk to them about this here. This is one example. About a month ago, on Huddle sent out to every player, there was a Google form sent out. It said, if you're interested in playing college football, I need you to fill out this form. And we got about 30 or so responses, which was great enough. So I took that information and turned it into this. And this is one slide of about 30 slides that every coach that walks through our door, every coach that we interact with on social media, this is what they get. Right? We find out what kind of player they're looking for. What positions are they looking to fill? And to be honest with the transfer portal, the way it's going with NCAA, it's very hard. It's harder to get high school kids recruited to higher levels. Right? So we are working our butts off in order to be able to get kids to that best position possible. Here's just some of the schools that have been through in the last 2 weeks. Right? And so they get access to that. They get access to that slideshow, and they can look at every kid's highlight film. In my full presentation, I go through, hey, here's how we can make a great highlight film. At the end, I've got my contact information. Send me an email. I'll send you the whole thing. But, we got CU through the door in Wyoming, but also a lot of other schools that recruit Colorado kids. Right? Western State, who's a darn good RMAC school, 83% of the kids on their roster are from Colorado schools. Right? So that's what we're trying to get our kids to have that ability to play at the next level. So I will be very quick through this. We talk about what coaches are looking for, and it's honestly this top line, right? Big guys that can run. And it's position specific. right? And if we look at this next slide, and I can go back here, sorry, some people are taking a picture. It's position specific, but people are looking for guys that check off all these boxes for them, right? And so if we look at, this is just the Division I level, this is the average height and weight at every position. And on that full presentation, I've got it broken down by every level, D2, D3, JUCO, NAIA. But this is where we're starting, right? And I'll tell you a story very quick. Coach DePietro is going to cut me off here shortly. You know, I'm coaching at this community college in western Kansas. We had this big tackle. When I say big, 6'5", 295 guy, had a six-pack, could bench press 360 pounds. And his only goal coming out of junior college, he wanted to go play at K-State. Now, western Kansas kid, we can forgive him for wanting to go be a Wildcat, right? But the head coach at K-State, Ron Prince, comes through at the time and says, I can't sign him, he's not 6'6". Like, well, he's 6'5", 295, what do you mean he can't? Well, so he ends up going to TCU, starts there 2 years, wins a Rose Bowl, plays a couple years with the Patriots, right? So it's not necessarily that the kid wasn't a Division I player, is that he didn't check the box of a certain coach. So our goal is to get kids film in front of as many coaches as we can to try and check the boxes for those coaches, right? To know who's looking for what, and that's what Coach and myself and Coach Garcia is going to help as well. We're going to try and get the right film in front of the right coaches so we can get our guys recruited. This is just a couple of things, and I'll be really quick on this, I promise. Academics, both our individual and the school. So what do we do when we're looking for schools? Right? The first thing you want to look for, if you're a senior, what kind of major do I want to major in, right? Because I don't want to send your film to Mines if you don't want to be an engineer, right? And you probably don't want to go to school in Minnesota if you want to be a marine biologist, right? So we want to look at what we can do academically, right? We also want to look at location, right? Do you want to be a West Coast kid? Great. Then that's an area we should focus on. But do those cool schools recruit Colorado kids, right? That's part of our research and what we want to do. What type of town do you want to live in? Middle of nowhere, Nebraska? Sounds great to me. May not be for everyone. Coach stability really matters at the Division II, Division III level. If you go the last recruiting cycle, which we'll call 5 years, there are less than 20 Division I head coaches still at their original schools from the last 5 years. So we can't look at head coach stability at Division I level like we used to be able to. But Division II and Division III, junior college United, we can. Playing time, and then last one there, go where you're wanted, don't chase a logo. Right? That's from Coach Garcia, right? We want to get our kids in places where they're wanted. All right, I'm going to skip through some stuff. Just this one's really important. Return all calls, emails, and texts no matter what. Even if it's a school you're not interested in, send them a text back and say, thank you so much, but I'm not interested. Because we'll go back to this one real quick. Assistant coaches, they're on the move every 1 to 2 years, right? They may get a job at a school you want to be recruited at, and you ghosted them 3 months ago, right? Said, sorry, and now you're not going to school you want to be at because you couldn't return a text message. Right? It's a little form of communication that can go a long way. Social media, I can't believe we still have to say this. Guys, if you're going to be on it, don't post everything that pops in your head. We see more stupid stuff from guys, right? Like we can avoid this just by not even posting it. Voicemail messages, very quick. I saw a guy lose a scholarship offer because he had one of those fake voicemails. The hello, speak up, I can't hear you. Coach pulled it because he was so pissed off about the voicemail. So we're going to make sure we have a working voicemail. Parents, I'm going to talk to you real quick about being positive in the stands. And the only reason I say it is this. You know, I think I snuck this one in here. Guys, if I'm a coach and I've got 30 receivers I'm looking at, our goal is to get you on that list of 30 receivers, and when coaches start eliminating them, to keep you on that list. And I'm a coach and I'm going to go see a game, and there's a parent that's berating other parents or officials or coaches. It's a really easy cross off the list. right? 'Cause if it doesn't go your way in a year, they could be talking about you, right? So we want to do that. Let's see. Also, we'll talk about this one, then I'll move on. It's a tough one to have, but financial constraints when you're looking at the recruiting process, right? It's very unlikely that your son's going to get a full ride, even Division I or Division II, right? So what does that financial capability look like? If they're going to go NAIA route, a school may cost 50 grand a year. You're going to get a 30 grand football scholarship, but are you okay making up that additional 20? Right, so you want to have those conversations as you're going through this recruiting process. Again, I've got a lot more on this, but as we know, we're tired of sitting in the chairs, so I'm going to get you guys out of here. So things to think about: what your family can afford, where do you want to be when you graduate, what's your level of expectation of playing time, are you okay going into it, happy to sit for a year or two, or do you want to go somewhere where you can make an immediate impact? Know the difference between real interest and lip service. If you get an offer from a coach, ask him if it's committable. Right? Hey, can I commit right now? And if he says, I need you to hold off a couple weeks, they're waiting on somebody else. Right? If they're trying to sign 2 guards, right, they've offered 5. And if they say you gotta wait, well, there's someone else ahead of you on that list. So just little things we can talk about. Recruiting services, it's important to know what you're looking for. Right? What's your cost? What's your return on investment? And there's no guarantees. If someone says, I can guarantee you a Division I scholarship, I would just be weary. This is my information. Hey, there's my email address. There's my cell phone. I know I had to rapid fire through this. I didn't get the big hook off the stage. But this is what I want you to know. Shoot me a text. Send me an email. Let's set up a time where we can sit one-on-one and we can talk through this. Okay, like I said, I'll send you the whole presentation and you can have a chance to look through it if you've got any questions. But the goal is, right, we're going to get your film in front of as many coaches as we can and find the best fit for you at the next level. Coach, I'm going to pass it off to you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach. I'd like to get up to address you, but my butt cheeks are numb. So I'll just talk from here. But listen, besides being a coach, I'm also a parent of a young man that's been in this program for 4 years. And I know you've been hearing a lot about money this, money that, money here, money everywhere. But truly, you get what you pay for, okay? So if you're looking, what I was looking for as a parent first is I needed a young man that would have strong character. And I can tell you that if someone comes into this program under that man, Coach Thielen, there's no question that his character will be 10 times better than anything we could do as parents alone. That's also what this sport, this great sport that we all love so much, gives. Gives the opportunity for young men to become men, right? And more so, no one's really talked about the resumes on the coaching staff here, that if you line them up with anybody else, everybody else is going to be here and we're there. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is we're now teaching our kids the high level of play of this great game, along with that character. And that translates to what Coach was just talking about, right? Scholarships, the opportunity to play somewhere else. I'm completely indebted to Coach Thielen and all my friends here at this table because my son is one of those boys that did get a full ride scholarship. So the money that you do work for and pay will come back to you if the young man is willing to go in every day and work hard for Coach Thielen and the staff. So this is a complete ad-lib, but I felt that you should know that as a parent, there is return on investment for sure. So go Legend.
Again, we thank everybody for coming. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to meeting all of our incoming freshmen the 28th of May, if not sooner, when we start working out. Thanks so much for coming. God bless you all.
lobs it to the end zone. Brian Doyle in the end zone. Hands it off to Alex. Gets the first down and more. 40, 30 out.
Oh, and that is a touchdown! Touchdown, Legend Titan!
And go over the middle. Oh, it's going to be intercepted. That's my man. There he is.
And you're looking live at Echo Park Stadium here in Parker, Colorado, and getting set for homecoming week kickoff with your Legend Titans, and they're taking on the good old rival from the west side of town, Chaparral Wolverines. They were at the bonfire the other night.
Oh, yeah, you went to the bonfire.
So after the parade, these guys were kind of helping out with giving a little speech. Coach Thielen gave them a nice little pep talk, and here they come.
Here they go. Your Legend Titans.
Tries to squib it, not much there, so
All
Legend's going
right,
to get...
so today we've got Michael Marcenich at quarterback, Alex Martinez and Jaden Lawrence at running back. Offensive line, we got Jack Dame, Logan White, Juju Castro, Cruz Garcia, and Jack Morgan. Then at wide receiver, Riken Banks, Jeff Baca, Brian Doyle, and Noah Archuleta.
Other side of the field for us, so it's hard for us to quite see the numbers. Nick's going to be under center here. It looks like the socks mean that it is Jaden Lawrence. Let's keep running the Jaden Lawrence. Ride that train with Jaden up for the middle. Look at this. Makes a man miss. Look at this. Come on, Jaden. Get outside. Go.
Go,
Get outside. Go, Jaden.
Go,
Jaden.
go,
Jaden.
go, go,
Nobody's
go,
going to
go,
beat
go,
it.
go, go.
Give him 6. Oh, yes. Titan
Wow.
day. What a play. Oh.
Speaking of offense, shout out to Alex Martinez from Papa and Nana.
Out in
From-
California.
No, Gilbert, Arkansas,
Oh,
along
good.
the Buffalo River.
That Buffalo River, beautiful country there. That's kind of in the Ozarks?
First of the shout outs for Michael Marcenich's family. Madison, Wisconsin is watching.
The Wisconsin
Sue Leonard is there, yep. And then Isaac Schmitz has fans in Oklahoma City. That's Judy Bush.
Go Sooners.
And we are going to knock out Valor. Luke Sandy, I hope you're watching. Muma family, I hope you're watching.
That's right.
All the Legend family, this is beautiful.
This
Kennedy,
is a big
I hope
deal.
you stayed up late tonight. And this is what it's all about. And we're going to take a knee and we're going to go tick, tick, tick. 29 seconds and counting. They can't do anything. They can't stop it. Look at this. It's a Legend win in Valor tonight. I love it. Julie, what do you think?
Oh, I'm just speechless. I'm so happy for these kids. This whole
You come
team.
into their court, you come into their field and you knock them off. You play solid football. You win out and you won the second half.
That's right.
And I don't like it. I love it. Way to go. This is
beautiful.
what high school. We will go see the winner of Columbine, Fountain Fort Carson next week. Great job, Jay. Parker family, great job tonight. Hey, Legend family, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope we will be broadcasting again for the next game. We'll keep you posted. But we appreciate all of you who
Everybody's taking
come
the
out
field, so
and watch
beautiful
us.
night. Good job
Watch
tonight.
these kids play.
Great job defense. Good job Wilson. We will see you next week, hopefully, Legend family. Let's keep it rolling. Legend advances to the round of 8. Good night, Legend.
Good night.